So tomorrow, the city of Tshwane will be electing a new mayor, but there seems not to be consensus between Action SA and ANC about who will be leading the city of Tshwane. Remember, Action SA, ANC, together with the EFF, collaborated to get rid of DA's mayor, Brink. So one would actually think that Action SA and ANC would have a conversation that goes like, guys, we are going to get rid of Brink, and this is a person that all of us should rally behind so that there is no confusion in the city of Tshwane. But as things stand, Action SA is rallying behind the acting mayor of the city of Tshwane, Dr. Nasipi Moya, who was the deputy mayor of Brink, and ANC will also be fielding its own person. So recently, Mashaba did an interview, and this is one of the things that he was actually pressured about. How can you work with the ANC to get rid of DA's mayor and not have a conversation with the ANC about who will be leading the city of Tshwane?
Was there an agreement before the motion of no confidence between Action SA and the ANC that once Mayor Brink is ousted, that Action SA will field a candidate?
No, there was not. I've always been clear, including actually in a press conference, that we will not have any written agreement with the ANC. We will have principal agreement. I proposed Dr. Nasipi to the ANC before the serious negotiations, which have not really taken place. We're at the moment busy putting measures in place to start serious negotiations because we've got 14 days.
But to be honest, this is a conversation that should have taken place before Action SA collaborated with the ANC to get rid of Brink. This is a conversation that should have taken place before you guys went on a vote. Because right now, chances are Action SA and ANC might butt heads when it comes to who will be leading the city of Tshwane.
Will field a candidate?
No, there was not. I've always been clear, including actually in a press conference, that we will not have any written agreement with the ANC. We will have principal agreement. I proposed Dr. Nasipi to the ANC before the serious negotiations.
Mashaba says that he did have a principal agreement with the ANC. I'm sorry for distracting this, but he said that he had a principal agreement with the ANC. Man.
The motion of no confidence between Action SA and the ANC that once Mayor Brink is ousted, that Action SA will field a candidate?
No, there was not. I've always been clear, including actually in a press conference, that we will not have any written agreement with the ANC. We will have principal agreement. I proposed Dr. Nasipi to the ANC before the serious negotiations, which have not really taken place. We're at the moment busy putting measures in place to start serious negotiations because we've got 14 days and a few days have already gone. So yes, I proposed, and I see in the media that they have their own proposals. What I'm saying as Action SA, we will all parties ensure that we actually go for the best candidate.
Was you putting forward Nasipi Moya's name this is the name that us as Action SA is putting forward, not necessarily that we want, as per an agreement, that Nasipi Moya be elected the mayor, and we will then in turn support the ANC in that motion of no confidence?
Absolutely. It was saying to them, guys, in Tshwane in particular, because of the abuse Action SA suffered from DA, insults and so forth. And originally when ANC approaches the Aldrin, I'm sure you can remember, we all wanted at the time in all the municipalities, the 3 municipalities, only to occupy the legislature. But DA made a terrible mistake. Instead of actually dealing with this matter with respect, they decided to insult us, insult ANC. I then said to the ANC during one of the discussions, I said, you know what, guys, I've really had enough of this DA arrogance. My body cannot take this abuse any longer. With Tshwane, I'm changing my mind. we are going to let's remove the DA mayor, but Action SA wants executive position so that we can co-govern with you guys. I'm happy in Johannesburg to really play the role of the legislature as we originally thought. But the arrogance and the disrespect of this DA, I think one needs to really teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
This is not 1948. This is 2024 with a constitutional democracy. We are not going to allow people to abuse us like this, take us to be corrupt, all of us to be incompetent. We've got to really show them the lesson to really respect us.
I think him and Mashaba should just acknowledge that they made a terrible mistake by not having a conversation with the ANC about who will be leading the city of Tshwane before they go on a vote. Because right now he's talking about governing with the ANC, but we learned yesterday that the ANC is having negotiations with other political parties. They want those political parties to lend them their votes so that they can get the mayoral chain in the city of Tshwane. So it looks like the ANC is working on backstabbing Action SA, the same Action SA that has helped the ANC to get rid of the DA's mayor, Silas Brink. So I think that Hemen Mashaba should actually acknowledge that, okay, it was a terrible mistake. It was a terrible mistake, and now it looks like ANC is trying to replace Action SA with other political parties. So if things go according to the ANC, Action SA will be nowhere near the governance of the city of Tshwane.
So if there wasn't an agreement that Nasipi Moya will become the next mayor with the support of the ANC, would you be able to tell us why your chairperson, Michael Bowman, told News 24, we are concerned, but I think it is very important that you do not try to negotiate a government through the media. In other words, people say all things, but we need to sit down and have a real conversation. Why would he be concerned? Why would Action SA be concerned if the ANC is going to field its own candidate?
Well, I think, look, fortunate enough, this ANC agreements, I'm on record as well, that this particular agreements with the ANC, I'm going to lead them myself, because I'm sure you know my history with the ANC. That dates back long before you were even born, Aldrin. So I know the ANC the people. These are family, these are friends, these are people I grew up with. I only got really close with them when they started this corruption that really destroyed millions of lives. So that is why, as I had the privy of being the one negotiating with the ANC than Michael Bowman. Michael must have obviously said to them, guys, I've proposed Nasipi Moyo as our candidate, and at the time ANC had no problem, but they says, guys, we will obviously to formalize this when we start formal negotiations. Actually, before I left overseas about a month ago, ANC wanted us to immediately get involved in negotiations, but I declined. Why? Because I wanted to ensure that before I formalize my negotiations with the ANC, let me consult our structures, our Gauteng PAC, our Tshwane REC, and our caucus. I said, please give us 2 weeks or so, and I'm leaving in 2 days' time. I'm leaving for overseas, but the process will run. On my return, once I get the report, and the report, our teams are happy, we will then start the negotiations. I come back, a DA went all out using every available propaganda to discredit and insult ANC. If you look at the propaganda unleashed against ANC people, I wonder how ANC actually feel. I don't understand DA's negotiations. They want the support of Gauteng ANC, but they are insulting them they're nothing. They're crooks. They are corrupt.
So in your negotiations with the ANC, you went.
So if you had negotiations with the ANC, or if you scheduled a conversation with the ANC, how is it a problem that the DA is attacking the ANC on the media? How is that now automatically your problem that the DA is taking shots at the ANC? It's not like the DA is taking shots at Action SA. They are talking about the ANC. So how is it Action SA's problem that the DA is talking about ANC?
Went into negotiation that we're going to support you in your motion of no confidence, but we don't have an agreement yet as around who would be filling that vacancy.
Let me tell you to something.
You see, this is the same mistake that the Democratic Alliance made after the government of national unity, especially in Gauteng. You remember Solim Simanga said that we thought the ANC would act in good faith. This is a one mistake that I criticized the DA a lot when it comes to what happened in Johannesburg. I said, guys, you were not supposed to vote for Panyaza Lesufi before you discuss how the MECs are going to look like. But the DA also made a terrible mistake by voting for Panyaza Lesufi before they discuss how the MECs are going to look like. As soon as Panyaza Lesufi was elected, he sidelined the same political party, one of the political party that actually voted for him to be the premier of Gauteng. So this is a mistake that even the DA made in Johannesburg. So right now, it looks like this is a mistake again that Action SA is going to make, agreeing with the ANC before you even talk about who will be replacing Silas Brink. This is a mistake, and this is a mistake that the ANC always capitalize on.
That we're going to support you in your motion of no confidence, but we don't have an agreement yet as around who would be filling that vacancy.
Let me tell you to something, in which also I'm on record on this.
Yeah.
When I started and agreed to meet with the ANC, we had already made our mind that we only need the support of our structures. Personally, Herman Mashaba, I'd already taken a decision. My relationship with the DA is water under the bridge. My body can't take it any longer. However, this is not my party. This party belongs to our members. Let's consult them, get to see how they feel. You know what, Aldrin, when we consulted our people, actually 2 days before I left, the first group I saw was encountered with was our Gauteng PEC. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that meeting was hot because I can tell you they were not even prepared to go through the review process. They says, Herman, please, let's cut this umbilical cord.
But I want to understand that how does Action SA go into a meeting with the ANC to remove the mayor in the city of Tshwane, but there's no agreement around what happens after there is a vacancy?
No, okay, let me tell you how simple it is.
Okay.
Because remember what triggered us from taking decision was the DA leadership approaching ANC leadership to remove us from Tshwane. So we are going to be removed in any way. So that's why I said to my team, we are not going to wait to be removed by the DA. We are not going to be pushed. So whatever happens, whether we come to an arrangement with the ANC or not, Action SA is out of Tshwane with the DA. And also now take the other dynamic now. In the event ANC and DA don't really come together, without Action SA, none of the two groups can form a party because they don't have the numbers. So that's why, to make sure that there's stability in the city of Tshwane, there can be government, we've decided, we've made available ourselves available to the ANC, and we are still available. But if they come to arrangement with the DA, fine, Action SA is happy to be on the opposition benches.
And I think, again, Herman Mashaba needs to be careful, because if the city of Tshwane struggles to elect a new mayor, people are going to blame him specifically. They are going to say, Herman Mashaba, you worked with the ANC to get rid of the mayor, but now you cannot agree with the same ANC about who's going to lead the city of Tshwane. So people are going to get frustrated, and Herman Mashaba is going to get blamed, because without him, the ANC was never going to be able to get rid of Silas Brink. But because of him, ANC was successful to get rid of Silas Brink. So if Action SA and ANC do not come to an agreement about who will be leading the city of Tshwane, everyone is going to blame Herman Mashaba. I hope that this is one thing that he understands, that you have to come to an agreement with the ANC, because if you don't, the people are going to say you collapsed a working government. Now you cannot even form a government with the same political party that you helped to collapse a government. I hope that Mashaba understands that there is a lot riding for Action SA, especially in this matter of the city of Tshwane.
So does this mean that if the ANC decides to field its own candidate, Action SA will support that candidate?
I think
you will vote in support of that candidate.
I think, Aldrin, negotiations of this nature, anyone who's going to conduct them in public, that person is a fool, it's irresponsible. These are very sensitive matters actually involving the public. I don't think, honestly, it would really be wise for me. I know I'm not clever. I'm not clever, but I would not really want to really engage. But one thing I can promise society is that once we've agreed or not agreed, we'll come back to you as a society because we are running a public organization.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you whether we are successful or not.
Sure, but you did tell us that you put forward Nasipi Moya's name.
We
so
recommended here, yes.
So I'm asking, if the ANC puts forward its own candidate, will Action SA support the ANC?
Well, it depends who they put forward. They've got to put someone better than Dr. Nasipi. We look at...
Then clearly there is going to be a fight between Action SA and ANC. Clearly, there's going to be a fight between Action SA and ANC because I don't see Action SA saying that, okay, we have Dr. Nasipi Moya as the acting mayor of the city of Tshwane, well qualified. And this person from the ANC is more qualified than Dr. Nasipi Moya. I don't see Action SA saying that. I don't see Action SA saying that. So this actually is a red flag saying that there might be a fight between Action SA and ANC.
Will Action SA support the ANC?
Well, it depends who they put forward. They've got to put someone better than Dr. Nasipi. We look at it. But what I'm trying to say is that we know we're not clever, and some people have accepted my race not to be clever. And but we're not fools. I'm not going to engage in negotiations of such sensitive nature in public. What we're doing, we've got 14 days, and we've got the few days have already passed. ANC and us, we're aware that time is against us. Once we've negotiated, we've come to a decision as to who must lead, we will come back to you. There's just no way that we will not come back to society because the mayor has to really be elected in an open council meeting.
So this interview happened last week. So Mashaba says that if Action SA and ANC come to an agreement about who will be leading the city of Tshwane, then they will go to the media. They will come to the media. But as far as I'm concerned, there has not been a report saying that this is a person that Action SA and ANC will be rallying behind in the city of Tshwane. And the vote is tomorrow. We are literally a couple of hours away from the vote.
I have to also say, Mr. Mashaba, I find it fascinating, if anything, how Action SA is now almost a defender of the ANC, when Action SA was actually a political party campaigning on the basis of trying to oust the ANC because the ANC was corrupt. That was Action SA's commitment to its voters. But here it is, Action SA seems to be scrambling to work with the ANC.
Tell me, where do you get that impression from, that Action SA is a defender of ANC? Action SA is doing what is in the best interest of our country. In the event ANC and DA don't find each other, without Action SA's intervention, joining forces with the ANC, the city of Tshwane will be without government. So do you expect Action SA to act in that irresponsible manner?
But Action SA would essentially be taking a decision that also leads to the ANC being back in power. Do you agree to that?
Well, but I'm not going to put arrogant, disrespectful... but I'm not going to put arrogant, disrespectful people into government.
That Action SA's actions will essentially mean the ANC gets back into power with the help of Action SA.
But they've got if you respect them...
Yeah, of course, Action SA is the one that is actually under pressure to make sure that the city of Tshwane has a governance. So maybe they are going to rally behind whoever that the ANC will be proposing, because if they don't agree with the ANC, like Mashaba said, the city of Tshwane will be without government, and people will blame Action SA for that. They will blame Action SA for that, and ANC knows that if the city of Tshwane is found without the mayor, there will be not taking a lot of blame. Mashaba and Action SA are the ones that are going to take a lot of blame. So Mashaba and Action SA, they are the ones who are literally under pressure to ensure that the city of Tshwane has a government.
Do you agree to that? That Action SA's actions will essentially mean the ANC gets back into power with the help of Action SA?
But they've got if you respect democracy, this is what's happening in the city of Tshwane and elsewhere. It's a result and the outcome of a democratic process. People who don't respect democracy, they don't respect the outcome. If anyone can bring forward to say the 2021 elections were not free and fair, then it's something else. Here, the people of Tshwane have spoken to say no single political party will govern. And it is our responsibilities as political parties to make sure that there's no vacuum.
And Action SA is going to use their votes to bring the ANC back into power.
Yes, because we've removed, and proudly so, we've removed the DA who never respected us. We thought they will come to their senses, but they operate as if it's 1948 when black people did not have universal suffrage.
Is that hypocritical of the party, of Action SA? That you campaign for people to vote for Action SA against a corrupt ANC, and here is Action SA today saying that actually, let's get the ANC back into power.
Okay, can I tell you something interesting that you might...
Man, just as Elton Sampier, man, come on, man.
Corrupt ANC, and here is Action SA today saying that actually, let's get the ANC back into power.
Okay, can I tell you something interesting that you might really be aware? I know you're a clever journalist. On the 28th of May, 2024, show me any party that's in the current coalition, what they said about ANC. You want me to pull you out to show you?
Yeah. And you are part of them.
Yes.
You are part of them.
We're not God. But what I'm trying to say, as human beings, Aldrian, all the time, you have to operate on prevailing circumstances. You don't take decisions in a vacuum. When you are confronted with a particular challenge, God has given us the brains to make sure that you react appropriately. Right now, we don't have the luxury or the arrogance to say we are going to govern on our own as Action SA. We don't have that luxury. Yeah. DA does not have that luxury. ANC does not have that luxury. The voters of Tshwane have demanded of us to put our own personal views and opinions aside and govern them as coalition partners. Yeah. And that's exactly what Action SA is doing.
Okay, and then just on a quick another matter, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, the matter that was taken to the public protection.
Now we know that Action SA wants that lady to step down and to be arrested. So I guess we will have to wait until tomorrow to see what's going to transpire in the city of Tshwane. I hope that the ANC and Action SA have come to an agreement, because if they don't, heads are going to roll. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Maba, so I will see you next time. Bye bye.